the composition of the team. Jason and I.
Sorry, let's take one thing before I forget.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, we're good. Yeah, so Jason and I are very much the kind of the dreamers and kind of creative and pushers behind the business, and so we're two of the four co-founders. And as we looked at the composition of the team in the beginning, it was really important to us to have people with different skill sets. We are big picture thinkers, probably to a fault.
Yeah.
Can't is not in our vocabulary. We're a how can we group, and so that does come at odds with kind of making good financial decisions sometimes. But so we measure that by having other great people on our team who think natively at the kind of minutia level and the process level. And so, there's several folks on our team. Craig, one of our co-founders, he's our CIO, and he is a data-driven, process-oriented systems guy that we are not, but that makes him a great compliment to us. And then our first investor is also now our accounting director, Jim Baranowski. He, his accounting background and kind of doomsday approach to the world is super helpful to temper our dreams, optimism, and kind of just like, unbridled fervor for moving forward. So I think it's about having some humility. Being humble is one of our 7 core values as an organization. And so knowing what you are and aren't good at is one of the first steps.
Yeah, but I also think there's balance there. Because quite often Jim, Craig, Connor, who does finance and strategy for us, literally will just say, or I will say, no, we're going to do it anyway. Sometimes we have to do things. I mean, we just came from the opening, speaking notes, and all I heard was, you want growth, you want revenue, drive innovation. Innovation costs money.
Yeah.
And I love innovation, and I think it's costly, but what's the cost of not doing it?
Yeah, completely. I think that's an interesting way of putting it too, right? You two seem like the driving head of the spear, and it's like, let's grow, let's do this, let's get excited, right? To your point, if we're not innovating while we're doing that, what's the cost of us leaving something behind? At the same time, what you're bringing up, let's have people around us where that is their specialty. We can get into the weeds. That way you two can go out and chase some big dream, keep it macro. Someone's focused on innovation, someone's focused on the bottom line, supporting from the back end as well.
Right. At least you can know what the risk you're taking is going to cost.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're not going to take it.
Yeah.
But at least it's out there. I think that one of the things that's continually driving us is momentum. Mm-hmm. If you don't have momentum, you know it. Yeah. And it's too late.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of momentum, I know we haven't really given a background on both of yourselves, but you want to kind of introduce yourself, the brand a little bit, and I mean, it's pretty exciting what you guys have been going through over the past couple of years.
You first.
Yeah. So I'm Etkin Tekin, one of the co-founders and the CEO and COO of Haven. So my background, I started my first restaurant while I was an undergrad at Yale. So started a kind of a custom salads and wraps, and grew to 2 units and a food truck. Exited that in my early 20s, and then I actually went and worked for this guy. He was a more established entrepreneur at the time, so I was a manager at one of his restaurants. I then went on to start a restaurant tech company. I did that for about a year, and then I spent 7 years in the corporate world. A little beer company called AB InBev, and that's really
it's a
where
small one.
And so that's where I really got to cut my teeth in understanding scale, understanding how big teams operate. And really the transition from going from kind of small to big, and that really has guided how we operate as a company.
I can't follow that up. My name's Jason Sobocinski. A lot of people like to say that I'm a serial entrepreneur, but cornflakes don't do it for me. I like food service, I like hospitality. I've started 7 different restaurant brands. Did not want to be part of Haven Hot Chicken when Etkin asked me. I said no, thank you. And then I ate the food.
You're like,
that our co-founder Rob, who leads culinary, made. I dove into the brand. which was established. We didn't have a restaurant at that time, but we had a brand book, and I was blown away. And I was like, okay, I do want to be part of this.
Yeah.
My position at Haven Hot Chicken is president.
Yeah.
Because they needed to come up with a role
title.
for me, a title. But I pretty much head up commercial. I'm the protector of the brand. And right now I'm heading up a new division, which is franchise. Which we have not started, but we're starting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, something that I've noticed a lot of when we've spoken with, whether it be our clients or sat down with other operators, is the ones that are going about some really interesting change have a background of a job experience that wasn't traditionally restaurant. So it sounded like yourself, you went to go work at AB InBev. You have a pretty wide range of probably entrepreneurial spirit that has gotten you into lots of different fun circumstances.
Tons, yes.
For someone who is going to be a prospective franchisee and wants to follow the same model that you guys have built, but maybe doesn't have that, unique backgrounds, how do you guys go about the perspective around mentorship and building that knowledge into new operators?
Yeah, I mean, I think it all first starts with culture and values. We have 7 core values as a company: rigorous, relentless, humble, teamwork, joyful, positive, and inclusive. That's the way that we run our company. We have 4 co-founders. We were reminiscing on this the other day. When we were writing our operating agreement as 4 co-founders, our lawyer looked us all in the eye and said, one of you isn't going to be here in a year. So it's good that you're making this operating agreement.
We fired him, by the way. It was him that was the one that was not there.
Yeah.
It is values.
Yeah.
We have to align on values. And so we were very anti-franchise for the longest time.
Yeah.
Then we started learning more about it, and it's not franchisor, franchisee. Mm-hmm. It's operators, owners. They're going to own this restaurant. They're going to put their heart and soul into it. If they can follow the playbook and they respect the brand, they understand the brand values, and they align with those brand values, they're going to be very successful.
Interesting. I think the values piece to me is what obviously you guys are harping on and it's really jumping off the page. If someone's coming off the street, how do you plan on investing in them? Not only from a time perspective, but as you guys scale the business, looking at it as a whole, what does that investment look like? Because clearly that's what's grown it for you and that will create the financial success, but what does that specific investment look like?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, when it comes to the current team and organization that we have, it's founders being involved in the recruiting and hiring process. Every single salaried manager in our company has been interviewed by a founder. Mm-hmm. That's a critical, stage for every person that joins the organization. Again, is that demonstrated commitment to quality, to hospitality, to caring about the system that we've built, and then from there, it's you can't teach somebody to want to work hard.
Yeah.
You can't teach somebody to work hard. Jason, I don't know why he hired me in 2013, but he did. But to instill work ethic and passion. I don't know what it means to be okay with doing a bad job.
Yeah.
Right. And when you're in that tribe of people, you can recognize that in other people too. And we're not perfect at that by any means, but I'm always looking for those intangibles because we can teach you the rest. We've invested a lot in training, systems, SOPs, and all of that. We have really robust training programs. Yeah. We can teach you how to run a restaurant. Yeah. I can't teach you how to work hard and give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that.
Sorry, I don't know if I can curse.
No, that's
great. Can we say shit?
You can do whatever you want. Shit, yes.
No, the investment is one that we've made, obviously, in developing learning management systems. A massive manual on how to do this, all the different tech stacks and tools, the processes. We obsess over our product. Our chicken is CCJSD, crispy, crunchy, juicy, spicy, delicious. We took those words from Google and Yelp, from reviews. That's what people are saying over and over again. And now it's what we measure every single piece of chicken that we make off of. And we share it on Slack. Look at this chicken this person just made, and everyone celebrates. So we've invested all that time in these processes, and we've obsessed over them. Crust adhesion, not having to crust sleeves. That's where the investment comes in. And we're essentially handing that over to operators when they go out and say, I'm going to represent this brand that is now our brand collectively. We have to have a super high degree of trust. And I think that's going to take a little time.
Yeah.
So awarding a franchise is a big deal for us.
Yeah.
There's going to be a big time commitment that we go through. Interviewing, again, aligning on values, bringing them into our stores, doing a pre-training day. We've done a couple training days where at the end of the training, there's no flour on the apron. And that tells me, without even speaking to the operator or the investor in that case, that that's not going to work.
Yeah.
I need you to be dirty.
Yeah.
And like in the best way in a restaurant, being dirty.
Yeah. Do you feel like from the amount of passion you've put into your product, I'm sure it's resonated with many of your employees. With that then, have you created a culture that you find is almost self-selecting, where someone can come in, they see what's going on and go, oh, this is too much for me. And you're like, great, this would never work for you.
Remember the manager that left after the first 2 hours?
We had a GM hire that after onboarding first 2 hours was first piece of training is to run the dish pit for a couple of hours. First opportunity to go on break, left and never came back.
Yes.
We dodged a bullet there. That's fantastic,
Yeah.
right? We want to learn that information about somebody as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So we think that's great. But
Clearly during the interview process, they fooled us into thinking the values were there.
Yeah.
And that we were same page. But if you're not willing to do dish, but you're going to have your team do it, it's not going to work for us.
I think another huge contributing factor to that too is, we've learned as we've expanded. So we have 9 locations across Connecticut today, and again expanding, regionally in the Northeast and the Atlantic Seaboard in the coming months and years. But with these 9 locations that we have today, more than parking, more than visibility, more than proximity to highway, signage, whatever it is, the number one key indicator that we've seen for the success of any given location is the quality of the management team there.
Yeah.
We've learned it more or less times than we should have. We should have just really locked that in. But again, it holds true no matter what. And so making sure that we get those critical hires correct, because we can establish the guidelines and the framework for the culture that we'd like for the restaurants to have. We can give them the tools by which to deliver great product quality and hospitality. But at the end of the day, like the GM and AGM, they are the shepherds of the culture and forging the culture at that location. And so they're so critical. And so we also emphasize cross training across our management teams, especially as people grow within the organization, so that they can experience the kind of the breadth of management styles and management teams that we have across the company, so that we can kind of cross-pollinate them a little bit.
Well, end of the day, A players want to play with A players.
Certainly.
Not C's.
Certainly. I find, in our industry, turnover can be quite high, which to me means it can be quite expensive, right? And if you have a culture that is indicative of pushing A players to the top, maybe they do slip through your interview cracks, but they didn't make it through the first shift, right?
Right.
From a financial implication, you need to know that instantly. You know that as quick as possible. You need to get someone else in here. So when you guys go to the franchise model and start bringing on franchisees, you start working with them, do you see that becoming a big piece that you're going to be explaining to prospective franchisees? Hey, this is going to be difficult. It's going to be hard. Maybe staffing will be difficult. But when you bring a team in, now you have that root, you have the foundation. And from a financial perspective, if they want to be around and they want to be here, they're going to be here longer. You can plan around them, and then you have support to build the business around. Is that something that has come up much for you guys?
Well, we're just getting into franchising. But one of the things that we are doing is we are awarding franchise rights at the moment only to multi-unit experienced QSR operators. So if you've operated multi-units of another brand and that brand aligns with our brand values, quality, hospitality especially, then you're getting through the first round.
Yeah.
And then from there, we have to align on all of the other things. I gotta like you.
Yeah.
I gotta want to go out and have a meal with you.
Yeah.
Right. And I want to meet your family, your spouse, your kids. Go get some pizza because we're in New Haven.
Yeah.
And we've done that, and it's been great. And my wife has now met, the spouses of some of our prospective franchise, partners. But the first thing is that they have to have experience. Right now, we're so young and we're just at the inception of franchise. We're not willing. I mean, I've got plumbers and doctors and lawyers that are like, love the brand. I think I'd like to franchise. And I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
So we are being really intentional about who we're talking to.
Why do you think, the wealth of experience of operating other QSR brands is such a leading indicator of success?
Restaurant industry is one of those industries where, because everybody eats, and some people cook, a lot of people just feel like, well, I go to restaurants, I can do that. But until you've actually done it, I think it really separates you.
Yeah.
And you better love it, because this is not an easy industry to be in, but it's so rewarding.
If someone was incredibly passionate and excited and seems committed, maybe not for your brand, but what do you think that they should do initially to get their foot wet into the restaurant industry, their foot wet into operating, maybe it's a QSR or full service brand? What do you think is that first step in before you can say confidently, okay, I'm going to make this my career?
Work in as many entry-level positions as you can. Go peel potatoes for an entire week.
Yeah.
Right? Go slice onions after that.
Yeah.
Don't go to culinary school. Sorry. Go work. Go stage. Go work for free. I did that.
Yeah, and I think, if somebody wants to become a franchise, I think it's also like, go work in a small business, like a mom and pop that, could be very well respected, or just, run of the mill, whatever. Work there, see what the environment looks and feels like, how the business operates on a day-to-day basis. Go work at medium, go work at big. My first, on the books job, I'll say, was at Dunkin' Donuts when I was 14. That was completely different than the deli that I worked at under the table before that, right? Like, just completely different from an operating perspective. And even at 12, 13, 14, even then I recognized it. But you have to get those reps in, and you have to understand kind of what big, medium, and big looks like, or small, medium, and large looks like.
Yeah. I remember when I fell in love, when I knew I fell in love with the restaurant industry, I was working as a bar back, and at the end of our shift, they would take all of the oranges, the limes, the lemons that were cutting the pith off to put drinks, and we'd juice it. And if you ever worked a shift on a bar, your hands are just getting cut up the entire day. And so after 12 hours, I'm squeezing lemons and lime, just stinging my fingers. And I still have a smile, and I was like, okay, I think I enjoy this.
Those are the best.
Yeah.
Those are the best experiences.
You finish a shift, you're sitting at the bar, everyone's having their after shift beer, and you're like, zen.
Yep.
Perfect.
Well, and there's nothing like again, I said earlier, I was in the corporate world for a while, and there was this huge gap because I left like literal floor management or working shifts in restaurants. You start and finish something every day.
Yeah.
Right? And there's this sense of accomplishment that you did something as a collective, as a group, and you did it together and you got it done, even if it sucked. Because it does sometimes.
suck.
Right?
It can suck.
You got it done. The POS went down. You know, like that's the.
But you still get it done.
You,
The ice machine
you
broke.
get it done.
Still get it done.
And then at the end of the day, there's a sense of satisfaction, accomplishment, and a good feeling that helps you do it again the next day, because it's just like it's an adrenaline rush, and you got to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's That's a good way of putting it. The adrenaline rush, right? I think we've all been there in the middle of a shift, something breaks. You're like, I have no idea how I'm gonna get through this.
There's something really special about when you feed somebody and they really enjoy it. I don't know that I don't know anything else like that.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things. Just like, wow, this is really good. Maybe it's the whole experience, maybe it's the bite they just had, whatever it is. But like being in the restaurant industry and bringing joy to your guests is awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love how you put that. Well, I was always told and taught about the micro guest experience. Every single moment of this meal should have something that is unique. I mean, someone has come off the street, their day may have been terrible, their girlfriend broke up with them, or maybe they're celebrating something great and they've come here to choose this moment as like, hey, I'm gonna make everything outside go away. We're gonna celebrate, we're gonna mourn, we're gonna do everything. You do that over food. And that's what's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think the thing is, hey, it could be a ice cream cone, it could be a Michelin star dinner. There's that opportunity at everywhere in between.
And that's what that's how we define hospitality, is exceeding the guest expectations.
Yeah.
You know.
And the expectations of our team as well. That's just as important.
The last thing I would want to do, tying that back to the financial side of things, something that's come up many times is consistency. Brands that are successful are consistent. The experience is consistent, the product's consistent, the leadership's consistent. It seems like that's a big piece. Maybe we haven't explicitly said it that way, but that consistency of passion and what we're bringing from a hospitality perspective seems to be present. How important is it for you to prioritize that in your financial investment? So if something is coming down, how important is it to you to like really make sure something there is always top notch the way that it should be?
It's everything for us, and we're saying it over and over again like broken records, because I do believe that that's what good leadership does. It's product quality, and for us, that's our chicken, CCJSD, and then hospitality for the team and for the guest. And we need that to be consistent every time. I worry about consistency sometimes. There's a lot of fast food out there that's consistent,
But it's not.
but it's not consistently great.
Yeah.
And consistency can be boring. Again, going back to innovation, like innovate, make it consistently great though.
Yeah.
Right? So like be consistent, but also we practice this, there's this Japanese word, kaizen. It's just incremental, everyday, teeny improvements. I like that kind of consistency.
Yeah.
Let's consistently be better than we were yesterday.
Yeah.
That, it's not consistent because it's changing,
Yeah.
but it's consistently
It's
improving.
consistently changing.
Right.
It's consistently becoming better. Cool. Was there anything new and exciting that you guys are hoping to bring to the brand and expand out of it? I mean, new menu ideas, anything like that? I feel like in talking to the two individuals, we'll probably have something wild in that question.
Yeah, we got a lot coming down, and we have to be careful because we bring a lot of change to the organization, and sometimes it can overwhelm our teams. And so we're learning now the right way to introduce it, to get buy-in. But yeah, we're stoked about everything that's coming down the line, including franchise, and bringing more talent into our pool by talking to these really, really successful operators. And we're learning from them as well.
Yeah, I think something, we just did an anonymous survey with all of our salaried management, asking them kind of where they would like us to focus on continuous training and coaching and development. And we got an overwhelming sentiment of continued training about the further application of the tech stack that we have. We've just brought a couple of key new things to our tech stack. We brought Thanks on as a loyalty and order partner. Brought Zenny on, which was huge for us in terms of daily operations. We're big users of Ovation. Ovation is something that is kind of the heartbeat of our system on a day-to-day basis, tracks our guest sentiment, allows us to interact personally with our guests. We have a really robust tech stack, and I'm excited about diving 10 times deeper into each of those tools and realizing even more potential. We always kind of, with our co-founder Craig, we always talk about kind of, are we buying a Ferrari when we need a Prius, right? And so I think we we have a pretty solid stable of tech at our disposal now that's integrated into the way we work every day. And now starting to tune, refine, improve, and build with our teams. I'm really excited about that.
What are you looking for out of that?
Better ways to deliver consistency in that high quality product and that great guest hospitality. Like at the end of the day, we need to make sure that we are providing an environment where our teams can thrive. Because again, these are kind of not secrets in our business, right? Like happy, engaged teams that see growth and see passion deliver better experience than those that are disgruntled, right? So like, let's embrace our teams. Let's make sure that we give them opportunities to grow and develop and be coached and trained, and improve over time together with us, because we behave like a startup, and so we take our team along with us for that ride, and we can do it without them, and we let them know that, and so that they can be a part of that growth journey with us.
I like that. I mean, I've worked at restaurants that were poorly run, ones that were very well run. In fact, I worked at a bunch of restaurants where some individuals came from the poor restaurant to the good restaurant, and you saw them change overnight.
Sure.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
You saw the potential here. Hey, you should come work behind the bar with me over here. And you just saw them completely shift. The biggest change between those two places was how the management treated the employee.
Exactly.
And I can think about the biggest thing that I saw there was, I worked as a bar back in this example. At one restaurant, I wasn't allowed to make drinks. At the other restaurant, hey, if it's busy, let's just have you clean dishware, let's get this prepped. If it's calm, let's teach. Right? They didn't pay me more money. I didn't work more hours or less hours. There was just that opportunity a few times a week, let's teach. And that kept us engaged. And I saw people build careers out of that. There's a bunch of the guys that I used to work with who were thinking about going into other industries, who are now in the restaurant industry because Zach Wu, the best bar manager I've ever had in my life, would sit everyone down on a calm day and say, let's teach. What do you want to learn?
Awesome. Yeah, that's great.
Well, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to come chat with us, or with me. I'd love to know, is there anyone else that we should be speaking with and kind of sharing their story? I know it seems like today our conversation of restaurant finance is more about investing in employees, but in general, is there anyone that we should be speaking with that you can think of?
Who you got? I'm trying to think. You'll have to let me send you some.
No worries.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Well, I really appreciate you guys taking the time. Thank you again. New Haven is the best pizza I've ever had.
I love it. Yeah.
Clip that.
Yeah.
Clip that.
All right. Awesome.
Thanks so much.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate
Appreciate
it.
it.
Thank you.